I hope everybody else enjoyed it. It was good for the 12s, I think, and for our players and all that. We had a nice ball game and then had a nice break here too, getting ready for this week. So we're in good shape and looking forward to a terrific matchup coming up. So exciting time of year, starting the fourth quarter. Here we go.
You guys made a roster move on Friday with Kevin. What was that? What was wrong with his shoulder and what precipitated?
It looks like he needs some work on his shoulder, a labrum issue.
And what'd you like for Purifoy, the guy you claimed?
He didn't pass the physical. Thanks, Dave.
Open then right now?
Yeah.
How does this week flip around a little bit? You're doing more Tuesday, obviously, than you did Monday. You give them, they would normally do all.
Yeah, we're just adjusting a bit. Took a couple days off, which is now it feels like a bye break, and we're trying to take full advantage of that rest-wise. We go into it fairly healthy, so we'll come out of this little break time in pretty good shape for the week. We're just flipping Monday and Tuesday for the players. They got today off, and we'll get some stuff done tomorrow.
What's the difference a healthy Bobby Wagner makes for you guys?
Well, just in general, it sure seems like it's helped. You know, it's been great having him back, and we're playing the kind of football that makes us proud. You know, the kind of stuff we were hoping to play like on defense, and it's taken us a while to get going. Coincidentally, Bobby comes back at the same time we kind of turn it, so let's give him some credit for, being part of that and helping everybody else, feel more comfortable and all of that.
What about the job that Kevin Williams has done since? Because it seemed like the first game when he had to fill in for Brandon, he was a little kind of duck out of water stuff, and it seems like it's been better.
Really? Yeah, he's just feeling better about playing the position, and he's obviously more comfortable, which is natural. Hoping we'll continue to find our rotations where all the guys can contribute. As we'll go, like I said, we're a little bit healthier than we've been, so we'll be able to control the numbers of plays hopefully. But Kevin's doing a good job now.
What's the priority on that roster spot that's open? What do you feel like you need to fill?
I don't know. Nothing to share with you on that one.
Is there any position group you feel like you need bolstered here the last 3 or 4 weeks?
We've been talking about it. I don't know. I'm not going to give you any lead in that because I can't tell you which way we're going on it. We're going to try to figure it out today.
Jeremy Lane wasn't able to play Thursday. What's his situation?
Just didn't quite get back. He was close during the end of the week, and the short week didn't help him. So when Marcus Purley made it back and was to health, so that was a nice, easy switch for us to make and give Jeremy a chance to make sure he's well for this week, which he will be.
What's the status for Cooper this week?
It's a day-to-day deal. He's still recovering. He's not ready to practice tomorrow with us. We're going to take a couple more days here, but he's close to making it. We'll see, but we won't know till the end of the week.
How's Max Unger progressing at this stage for you?
Kind of in similar fashion, that he is getting better. I don't know if we'll be able to get him on the field this week. We're looking. The feeling is that he should be able to make it back next week, unless maybe we can get a surprise here in the next couple of days. But still a little gimpy, but getting better.
How did Len play his first start?
Solid. Helped everybody communication-wise. We felt like we were on our communications. He'll continue to get better. He's only 2 weeks old with us right now. after a big layoff. So we hope to see him continue to improve.
Any common thread with Harold Simon's penalties?
Yeah, I need to solve that common thread, whatever it is, because he had a bundle of them here. So it's a young guy, just trying to figure out the league and what's okay and what isn't. We just need to do a better job of helping him. He's playing hard and playing tough and all, but he's definitely finding himself in front of the officials a lot.
Go ahead.
Tony Momiaki and sort of what you've gotten out of him, is this what you'd envisioned, or is he giving you more than you might have thought, or?
Everybody on the staff had a feeling about Tony. We'd seen him play before and had a pretty good thought that he could be a help, and just taking some time, and he's done better. I guess we'd say probably we're really pleasantly surprised in the sense that he could help maybe so early. But this is the kind of player that he was. He was contributing in a big way, made plays, and all the catches stuff he's always been good at, and he's getting better as a blocker for us, learning our principles and all that. So it's becoming a really good pickup for us, that he can contribute in the way he is. So it's working out great.
You had the challenge of 2 games within 4 days, and the team came together and went through that and came out. And by that, you actually earned a bye late in the year, almost like the bye late last year.
This is kind of an ascending question. It's like we're getting, yes, yeah, right.
Or it's just one answer. You pushed through with that message, saying that when you got through what looked like a tough thing, and now we're rewarded with a rest.
Yeah, I don't look at the Thursday thing like it's a tough deal. It's just you just have to deal with it. It's just you get that opportunity, and you got to make the most of it. Always we want to get the back end of that and get the rest so we can be strong next time out. Our guys did handle the process really well. The adjustments that we had to make to the schedule and all of that, everybody just we flew right through it like we told you last week. It felt like it was really going well. It's a bonus for us to get 2 wins in that time and also get a break. It really helps us setting up for the last 4 games and so it worked out well, and so it's a good deal.
If you're, if after a loss your owner tweeted out that the loss was unacceptable, how would that make you feel?
Our owner would never do that. No, I would never comment on that. Sorry.
And that leads me to another question.
That's fair.
How much of your job has been to manage up as well as manage down?
I have such good support, all that John does and Peter, that seems like it's been effortless, really. We've gotten along so smoothly and seen eye to eye on everything that we've dealt with, and be able to find that spot where you'd see eye to eye. Paul has been so supportive of the multitude of things that John's in charge of, which really impacts him in a great way, with the money and the decisions and all that kind of stuff. We just work together, and the communication has always been open, and we've had good dialogue at every turn, for all of the years. So I think we have such a strong base now that we all feel like we can get through whatever we have to deal with. And so, I don't know about managing up. I feel like we're just working things out. Everybody's very respectful of the positions and the authority and all of that, and the opinions that everybody brings, expertise, and Yeah, it really couldn't be better. It really, our format and setup couldn't be better. There's nothing to tweak. It's right on. And so we just keep working at it and hopefully continue to make decisions that we can support and benefit from.
Do you have a methodology for conflict resolution, or is it just the guy with the biggest title wins, or how do you work that out?
Good question. We work things out through communicating and dialoguing through trust. We trust that everybody has a good opinion, and we respect one another, and then we make our choices. There's an order to things that isn't necessary to call on, really. I think it's a mutual respect that allows us to communicate from A to Z on what we're talking about, and really feel like we can do it together and make the most of our options. I feel like our decisions are usually really strong. We're strongly supportive. We don't feel like we're barely getting through these things. We're making strong choices and decisions, and there's a bit of a momentum to that at times as we work it through, and we felt really good about the stuff we've been doing. So, it's a very, very good setup.
Was this as you envisioned it when you signed on, or is it better?
It really has turned out even better than I could have imagined. I really had hoped that it would be, the freedom would be here, and the freedom is here for me, and to do what I want to do, and to get things done in the fashion that I think I can do best. That's been totally supported. But I think I didn't know John at all, and so I've just come to love the guy for all that he brings, his work ethic, his expertise, his vision and creativity and all of that stuff. That's worked out great. We've been through two CEOs in essence, and both have worked well with us, and we've worked well with them. I'm sure he would comment that way, and we had to develop the relationship with Paul, and John has done a great deal of that in communicating with Paul on a regular basis. I see him, once a week or during the season, but that's about all. But it's worked out beautifully, and it just could not have been better. And I think it does. It transcends. This is a good place to be, and it's a good place to work, and everybody can feel that. And we've maintained an atmosphere of upbeat, positive, a lot of energy, and willing to take on tough challenges and make tough decisions, and go for it. And that's really what this is all about right now.
When Paul Allen visits you, practices or before games, without telling us, of course, what he says, but what's the tenor of those? Is he more inquisitive of what's trying to get a pulse of the team, or is he?
He just wants to ask the normal questions, that the curiosity would generate. He just wants to know what's going on, how the week's going, how the players are doing, trick plays, stuff like that.
You guys have allowed just one touchdown, I think your last 10 quarters defensively. Anything you point to as to why you've been so good over that stretch?
Totally. The players have rallied to find their best, and I think the ascending health. We've been getting stronger, and they feel better. I mean, the corners have come back to play. Cam has come back to play. Bobby's come back. It just seems like that's all added to it. But I think they've really rallied, and Dan's done a great job, and the coaches have done a great job on the defensive side to keep guys growing and not get to the point where you get frustrated, where it starts to work against you. There's been frustration, because we knew we could play better. And the fact that we're just starting to hit stride now, I think our best football's still ahead of us. We have a chance to continue to improve and to grow, and that's a beautiful thing at this time of year. And so, but I'm really proud of the leadership and Cam and Earl and Richard and Michael Bennett, all those guys, KJ and Bobby, all those guys that have hung together with us to keep the message moving forward until we really figured it out and felt right about it. That's what's most, I think, most apparent to me.
Defenders have talked about trust, getting it back to where it was. Can you give an example of what kind of thing, without getting specific about player A or player B, but what kinds of trust has to happen between D-line and linebackers, linebacker secondary?
It really has to do with that. That has to do with your ability to focus. If you trust what's going on around you and you trust what you're asked to do, then you're not concerned and distracted by what may be otherwise. And so that's a real basic fundamental of being able to focus really well. When you have confidence and you believe in what you're doing, then you don't second guess and discursive thoughts don't come your way, and you're more apt to play like you're capable. And that's a really basic premise of our program. And so we had to get to that, and that comes through hard work and the understanding of what you're capable of doing, and then preparing yourself so that when the time comes for the opportunity to show it, you can come through. And so that's how we share that, is by supporting one another. That's really what it is. Supporting one another is demonstrating that you do trust them and you do believe in them, and you don't let your focus go anywhere else, like worrying about what could be or what could happen or what call you make or what play you didn't make or did make. That's really what is at hand right now, and it's been a really vivid illustration to the players of how powerful that is.
Guys have always talked about with your defense that how important it is just to be able to do your job, whether that's setting the edge or whatever. And they say all that small stuff really adds up, and if you have any cracks there, it kind of all falls apart. How much does that trust play into that type of stuff?
Yeah, certainly it does, because guys are taking care of their job and doing it to the best of their ability, and they're being acknowledged for it and recognized by their teammates. And nobody's worrying about anybody else right now. They just know things are going to work out if we work really hard, and that's the big level of trust that we're talking about, and that's a really good thing, and it's what really successful teams own. They know that they're okay, and so we knew what that felt like last year, and we're working at finding it this year. There's a chance that maybe we could have a very successful season here in the regular season, and it's all about us finishing now. So we really don't have to change anything right now. We just need to work really hard and hold on to really where we are right now and keep battling. And we'll be okay. We'll see whatever that gets us. We'll see. We'll find out in a few weeks.
2 weeks ago, you guys were 3 games back in the division, coming off the loss in Kansas City. Now you control your own destiny for the division again. Do you feel that gives any extra added sense of encouragement down the stretch here for guys knowing that it's right there?
Sure. Yeah. These games, we would have approached every game right here in the fashion that we have to win each one of them in championship fashion, and that hasn't changed. Nothing's changed. We've looked at it every game this year in the same manner. It's obvious that it's really there, and so one of the things that you love in competition, when you control your own future, and we have an opportunity to do that, and we got to do it one day at a time.
What's the biggest challenge of preparing for their offense, Philadelphia's?
They're really explosive. They've got a real style about them. You have to mention Chip, and his concepts and approach when you talk about this offense, because it is what he has constructed over the years, and it's innovative, and it's well run and designed beautifully, and They're able to carry it out with different players, different quarterbacks. Mark's doing a great job right now. Foles had done a terrific job. Had an incredible year last year. So there's tempo to it as well. They're getting. I think they've run 130 more plays than we've run on offense this year already. At this point, so it's 10 plays a game. Close to it or more, and so there's just a lot of good things about it, and they've really been on it for 2 solid years now.
Tempo part, is there something during the week? You obviously have to prepare for that somewhere.
We prepare really. You have to prepare in modern football to be in the no huddle mode, and so we always prepare it. So it's not a big change for us. How much they're able to press the tempo, we're ready for that. We have been in that mode for the last couple of years now, just because you have to be.
How do you feel James Carpenter played, getting back in the lineup?
Solid. Did a good job. It was great to have him back. He felt great about his contribution and just being back out there with everybody. But he handled, he overcame his ankle and played pretty good, solid football. So it's a really good sign with the break. He should be in great shape this week.
All season about how well Richard Sherman's playing, even when teams aren't really testing him. Is it good for him though to start getting some of the numbers coming his way?
Sure. Oh yeah. It's huge. It's huge for him to have the opportunities. He really had 3 big opportunities to take the ball off him, and I know he was kicking in the locker room about the one he didn't get. So. But it's a dangerous direction to go in, because he can turn that ball around on you in a heartbeat, and he's demonstrated that really better than anybody in football over the last few years, and you can see why. And it's really good. It's good reward for him for working hard and busting his tail and not getting caught up in stats and numbers and things like that. He has not wavered. I've said that to you for some time now. He has not wavered technique-wise. His attention to the details of how he plays and studies and prepares and all that's been impeccable. So it's good reward.
How would you describe the relationship between Richard and Doug Baldwin?
It's a really unique relationship. They're extraordinary friends and extraordinarily competitive as well. And there's some way that they can mix this thing and they hang together, and they battle as much as anybody you've ever seen. It's like brothers, in a sense, and they've got a deep feeling for one another and respect for one another. And they wouldn't rather beat anybody in the world than that other guy. That's the most important guy to get, and it's a really beautiful thing.
You and Chip only overlapped for a year in the conference, but did you get to know him very well? And kind of what did you see that he brought to Oregon that was different or special?
I did not get to know him very well. I had tremendous respect for the innovation. And I know there's other guys. I don't know the history of how this works, but I think he has been as much an innovator in the game as anybody in college football, and he's brought his approach and his style, his mentality to the league, and it's worked out great for him. I think the Oregon school, and their kind of burst to the spotlight has been brought about by their offense and the style that Chip was noted for. And there's a lot of teams running no huddle. There's a lot of teams trying to speed it up. There's a lot of teams that are working the kind of approach and schemes and spreading the field as they have. And a lot of people are doing that, but I think the tempo and the belief in that is what really Chip was really the great champion of.
He visited here during his 1 year at Oregon, right?
I'm sure he regrets that tremendously with all the things that he shared with me.
The third quarter that just
The visit was great, but the information,
the third quarter you just came through. What did you like best about that? Was it the way the defense came
absolutely,
together?
yeah, absolutely. The way we after the Kansas City game, it was a mess. We jumped right back to business and really recaptured the chance of having a great finish to the season. It was a hard way to learn, but it was worth it. That's obviously the most important thing that's shown up.
If you'd had a say in it, would you have preferred that Richard Sherman and Russell Wilson not dine on turkey on the 49ers logo after the game?
Nobody asked me. They didn't ask. That was if they had asked me if I wanted to state my opinion, I would have thought, yeah, they could do it somewhere else. Yeah, that would have been good. But that's up to the networks. No, we don't care. It meant nothing at all. It was nothing. Gave some people something to talk about, but it was nothing. Our guys didn't care at all. The way I understood it.
Anything else? Thank you.